Okay, last example with arithmetic sequence series. The sum of the first two terms of an arithmetic sequence series is 13. The sum of the first four terms is 46. Determine the first three terms of the series. All right, so a little bit trickier here. So thinking about our sum formulas or thinking about the information in the question, it tells me that S of 2 is 13. And it also tells me that S of 4 is 46. So this is pretty much all the information that we're given. We're not given the first term. We're not given the common difference. We're not given any actual term values. We're given the sum. So remember, this sum means the first term plus the second term. And remember, this one is the first term plus the second term plus the third term plus the fourth term. So technically, these are not the term values. These are the sum of those term values. So this question's a little harder in the respect that we have to set up a system of equations. So we're going to substitute this information into always the second formula. Okay? So we know the sum of the first two terms is 13. So I'm going to put 13 in. Let's just write the formula out so we have it. N divided by 2. 2t of 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, so we know this sum is 13. So I'm going to substitute 13 in for this first value. I know the number of terms in this series would be 2. So n would be 2. I do not know the first term. I know the number of terms is 2. I do not know the common difference. So I'm just going to simplify this a little bit better. Well, 2 divided by 2 is simply 1, so I technically don't even really need to write that. This is 2t of 1 plus 2 minus 1 is 1 plus d. So technically, here's our first equation, 2t of 1 plus d. Okay, so that's our first equation. Now we're going to substitute this information into the same equation to get a second equation. And remember, a system of equations means two unknown values. Here we have two unknown values, means we need two equations to solve the question. So I'm going to substitute 46 here. My term numbers is 4. Okay, kind of same thing. So now again, I'm going to simplify this. 46 is equal to 2 bracket 2t of 1 plus this is going to end up to be 3d. Now I know generally we always want to run this through the brackets, but when we set this system of equations up, I have a 2t here and I have a 2t here. So I kind of want to keep those the same. So rather than running this through my brackets, I'm going to simply divide both sides of my equation by this 2 to leave me with 23. So now what I have is these two equations. Now I'm going to set up a system of equations. So I'm going to bring this equation over here and just write it underneath my other equation. And now we have a system of equations. I'm going to use elimination, right, to eliminate my t of 1. So I'm going to subtract this system. 23 minus 13 gives me 10. 2t1 minus 2t1, those are going to cancel. 3d minus 1d leaves me with a 2d. So what we're left with is now we can solve for our common difference, which is 5. Now that we found our common difference, now we're going to use that, substitute it back into either this equation or this one. I'm going to go into this one just because it's simpler. So 13 is equal to 2t of 1 plus 5. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, which gives me 8. I'm going to come all the way back up here. I'm going to take 8, divide it by 2, which leaves me with 4. And 4 is my first term. So the question asks us, determine the first 3 terms of the series. Well, my first term would be 4. My second term would be 4 plus 5 because my common difference is 5. So this would be 9. And then my third term would be 14. And that is how you solve a question that includes system of equations.